Good morning. My name is Miss DeWitt, and I am your 10th grade assistant principal here at West. Today, in your advisory class, we're going to do a little bit of work on your map scores, comparing your map scores to what you did in the winter, hopefully projecting some exciting things in the spring. And then we're also going to work on some foundational learning that you're going to do to try to make your scores even better. So we have a few steps we have to take. While we're working, your teachers are going to have the opportunity to pause this video anytime they need for them to be able to answer questions you may have, and also just to have conversations within your class. So let's get started. So first of all, we want to look at what we're working with today. And of course, we are with the 9th and 10th grade advisory, and we're going to look at your winter map scores. Now, your teachers should be passing out those map scores to you right now, so I'll hold on just a minute while they pass those out. They are going to look something like this. And in the top left-hand corner, you should see your name, and below it, you're going to see two things that says mathematics and reading. So go ahead and check on that, and I'll wait. Excellent. So hopefully you're there and you've gotten those scores. And I want to take a little bit of time to talk through what those scores mean. So, as we said, MAP is a measure of your growth. It is the way for us to see, are you progressing in school the way we need you to progress? We look at two major areas, math and reading. Those are the two that we think are important because everything else you do, science, CTE, social studies, that all kind of lumps into the reading facet. And then your math has your science and your math and a variety of other things in it. So those are the two most important things that we want to look at. Now, you guys take the map test 3 times. You take it in the fall and the winter and the spring. So far, you should have 2 scores at least. And depending on how long you've been in Bentonville schools, you may have an even longer graph. So take a second, and what I want you to do is think about your first picture, which should say mathematics, and then there's a graph below it. Notice, this is a sample here, that what our goal for you is for that line to continue to go up. Sometimes we see a little dip, but our hope is that at the end of each year, your line is continuing to go up higher and higher so that you're learning the most that you can during each class. So, I want you to do is take a second and look at your math score. Notice what I want you to look at is the fall. Yours will say fall here through winter 2023. And take a second and look, where did you start and where did you end? I'll wait just a second while you look at that. Now, hopefully, everyone's trajectory went up, but if not, my question to you is why? What was going on? What can you think about that was maybe a reason why your score went down? Maybe you didn't feel good that way. Maybe you didn't try as hard as you could. Or maybe there was something else going on when you took that test. Notice over here to the right of that graph, you're going to see what's called average growth, or you're going to see the growth score. And what we'd love to see is high growth, that no matter how high you are, you're continuing to move further. This individual has average growth, and some of our students may have low growth. And so, once again, my question to you, why? So if you notice there, they're going to say the average is 50th percentile. And the question there that we look at from that sort of that research standpoint when we look at your map scores is to determine, are you above the 50th percentile or are you below the 50th percentile? Notice below that little line, you're going to see your name, and it says that you're likely to be, and it's going to talk about whether or not you're likely to be ready for the ACT Aspire or you're likely to be on track for the ACT. Those two things are important for us. We want to make sure that you are on track to do well on the ACT Aspire you're going to take in April, but also that you're on track to take that ACT you're going to take next year. And the MAP test and those two tests align pretty well, and so it gives us a good idea. So take a few more minutes and look at your reading score as compared to your math score, and I'll be quiet while you look at those. Teachers, feel free to pause this if you want. You might have conversations with your class if you'd like to talk about what students' experiences have been in the MAP test. But we also may continue just to listen. So, the other thing that I want us to think about when you're looking at MAP is that we want to continue to see you growing higher. And we know the best way to do that is to set goals. And the only way you're going to meet those goals is if you intentionally work towards it. So, as you sit and look, I want you to determine which one is your strongest score. Where are you doing great? And secondly, where is a place that you could use some work? And that is going to be really where I want you to focus here in a bit. Next, once you have really looked at these and examined them, what I want you to do is, if you're in ninth grade, you're going to go to this form right here, and you're going to fill out the form that's going to ask you to tell us what is your winter map score, what is your winter math map score, what is your winter English score, and then what are your goals? What are you hoping to get? We know that in MAP, the top is about between 280 and 300. So if you're not there, what can you do to get there? So on that survey, you're going to fill out this survey for ninth grade, and then there's a survey for 10th grade, and there's the access to it. Teachers, once again, feel free to pause this if you need. And then, students, what I want you to do is fill out this form to determine what is your current score and what are your goals? Where are you hoping to be? Be reasonable. Think about the number you started at and the number you've ended up. Could you push it 5 points, 10 points? Many of you set these in junior high, so you've had experience. What's the way you can push yourself? And then, secondly, what is your plan to be able to get you to raise those scores? So, teachers, if you want to go ahead and stop the video now, students can access those map scores, or access that Google form using this the Google slide that I shared with you. When you're finished, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. And then once you're finished, we'll then start the second video, which is going to talk about what we're doing next to make this even more interesting. Thanks, guys.